Okay, hi, welcome to How to Repair. First thing I need to explain to you what the problem is. Somewhere in Spain or Portugal, either when I got the tracking done or just after, maybe going on some rough roads, the new drive shafts that I've got on this vehicle, one of the rubbers has got a hole in it and it's on this side. This is the actual passenger side because I'm left-hand drive. I've lost all the grease really with this extreme weather that we're having. I'm dripping at the moment. I haven't even started work. I'm on the Atlantic coast of Ireland and I'm working my way up to Donegal, and I've found a very remote location which is not going to cause people any problems while I do this. I wanted somewhere with a breeze, and when having a look on Park for Night I had a real hunt round for somewhere up on the cliffs to give me this nice breeze that we've got at the moment. And I didn't even realise, if I pick up the camera and flick it round for you, it's a stunning location, but it's not only a stunning location, it's a memorial to a Navy Liberator that went down in 27th of February 1944. And it's a stunning location. I'll be staying here tonight and tomorrow most probably while I get this repair done. And you can see here the island that's out there, I believe, is Horse Island. And it's absolutely a stunning location. Anyway, enough of that. As you can see here, I have got a lot of work to do, but rather than just doing the work, I'm going to show you how I'm going to repair this without having to take the drive shaft off or even replace the rubber. I'm doing a temporary repair, and what I'm using is a bicycle repair kit, and then I'm going to inject grease into the boot to actually fill the boot up with grease to the way it was, and then I'm going to clean it up with a brake cleaner, and we're going to then clean it all off again, make sure it's immaculate, give the rubber a little bit of a sand, and then apply the bicycle patch for a temporary repair. And this should last me at least 2,000–3,000 miles until I get back to my workshop. But the one problem I've got, the tarmac is melting. I just walked into the van just now, and the tarmac, it's that hot that the tarmac is melting, so I'm most probably going to have to put some wood under the jack to stop it sinking into the road. So the first thing I'm going to do is loosen off the wheel nuts. Cool, they are on tight. I have to turn this to maximum setting. You can't beat having one of these when you're on the road, rather than using a normal spanner. Just loosened all those off because when it's up in the air, it might be difficult to actually undo them because the wheel's turning. So now I've got to go underneath and jack the vehicle up. Okay, I'm using two jacks. Well, the bottle jack is a 10-ton jack. She's a little bit worn, but I'm putting a couple of braces underneath it. I've already supported the block to the wheels front and back to stop it rolling, just in case, because the one thing whenever you're doing something like this in the middle of nowhere, you really want to make sure that everything is, well, correctly set up and safe. As soon as she's gone up a few inches, I always make sure that I get my supports locked in place just in case something gives way. Okay, the wheel's turning. You can actually see the tar that's melting everywhere. I always like to stick the wheel underneath just in case something goes wrong. And you can see the grease here, how bad it is. So we need to clean all this up. You can see the grease all splattered up in here. So let's get that done. I was just about to put the camera away and I realised I've got an audience. Any of you willing to sacrifice a fillet or rump tonight? No? God, come on, donate. Okay, let me just show you down in here before I start cleaning up. If I flick the camera around, as you can see, everything is new. But if we look up here, you can see the grease that's been coming out, and she's been splattering all up through the wheel arch. So we need to clean this up. Okay, here we go. We've got brake cleaner. Just spray that on the rubber and give it a wipe. And I can rotate. I've put a couple of studs back in. You really want to clean every bit of grease off this. It is going to take me time, and I will do it off camera. And then of course we've got to find the hole. Let me just see if we can find the hole. You can see how much is coming off this. And I think we found the hole. Let me just turn that for you. Can you see here? Okay, if you look here where my finger is, that's where the hole is, and I don't know whether this is going to come up on camera. Okay, it's nearly impossible for me to film this guaranteeing that I get everything on, but what I'm doing is pushing that onto the hole, and then I'm pumping the grease, and I can feel it going in. So I'm going to give it quite a few squirts of grease in there because a heck of a lot came out. Okay, I've got some more grease in the gun. So I'm just going to push that onto the hole. Okay, hopefully you can see where I've got the grease in, and I can actually feel what's in there now. So I'm just going to spray that. Clean, clean, and clean. You really want to make sure there is no grease on there at all. Now I'm going to use a piece of sandpaper just to scuff up the rubber. Again, making sure to use clean paper every time. All that hard work I've done, and then this happens. Okay, I think we're ready to apply the patch. Okay, we've cleaned it up. We've got a patch, and I think our patch is going to go that way. So I'll rest that down. No, a little bit too much. It's so hot. Make sure I get plenty of this all the way around. Excuse my head coming in the way. These bloody insects are biting the hell out of me. Right, that looks like... do I go that way? I think I'm going to go this way, for the simple reason being is hopefully it will roll better. Okay, this has been on here an hour or so. I've done a couple of rotations with it. It is holding, but it's not as good as I'd like it. Now, I use something in Portugal which is called T-Rex, made by Soundal, and this is used on a lot of marine equipment, and it's fully waterproof and everything else. So what I'm going to do is just smear some of this on there and leave it overnight and set. It's not the colour that I want, but it will do perfectly well. And this stuff is really well, I've never known anything stick like this. So I'm just putting some on. That will do. I'm going to wet my finger. And just squeeze this out. And I do know this will really stick. And I can't move the wheel now for at least 12 hours until this is completely and utterly cured. But as I'm parking here tonight, this will be no problems at all. And we'll have a look at this to see how well it held over the next week. So what we'll do, at some point I will pull over and turn the steering over. Now I'm just going to clean my finger, just bear with me, I've got to get some rags and I'm not going to touch the camera with that on there. And I shouldn't do this, it's bad for your skin, but I'm just going to put some of that brake cleaner to get this gunk off my fingers. There you go, spotless again. And I'm just going to wet my finger. And just smooth this so it's nice. And excuse my spit. But, in my honest opinion, that is going to hold very well, because I can just see the way that it's formed up, and this stuff is absolutely brilliant. The most important thing is I've actually got the grease back into the actual the seal, and that is going to make sure that this knuckle that is at this point gets lubricated correctly. And we'll keep an eye over that we'll keep an eye on that over the next week or so. Okay, just to give you a detailed look at this with me holding the camera, you can see what I've done there. We've got the patch underneath it. I've smoothed off the silicone. I would have liked black, but you know, you have to use what you have. And it's crying shame. You can see all the old grease that's been splattering around. And you can see all the work that I've done on the previous videos. Absolutely everything is new underneath there. How we nicked that seal, I have no idea. It could have been a stone, could have been an accident. But anyway, it's all done now. I can put it back together and I know I've got grease in. Now, a couple of things. The weather has changed dramatically. We've had a bit of thunder. I've just done the stream in between wrapping the vehicle up. The cattle out here are all having a seat because I think the weather is changing. And I'm just quickly going to show you not only this coastline, but give some respect to the people that passed away and died during the war. And this plane crashed February 27th, 1944. United States Navy Liberator, 63939, Fleet Air Wing, VB 110 Squadron. Crashed off Skelling Mitchell, 27th of February 1944. And this is the beautiful coastline. It is stunning. And I must admit, this wild Atlantic way going up the whole west coast of Ireland has been absolutely a joy to drive. And this is where we are. We are over here. I did say in a previous video I thought we were off Horse Island, but that's the other side. There must be another island out here, and I don't know what that is. A beautiful evening. I just hope the wind kicks back in, because that's the reason I came here, because it is stiflingly hot. It's 35 degrees, even the tarmac up here is melting. So anyway, I hope this video helps someone out in the future. If they do have a problem like this and they can't get it repaired immediately, I'm going to get everything packed up, the wheel back on, and do remember to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you wish. I don't just fix appliances, I actually fix many things while I'm on the road. Thanks very much indeed for watching.